Hi, I'm 5 Pound Pete, and today I'm going to talk about installing the shower in the van. And to get started, I was going to point out that I got most of the plumbing fixtures to fit underneath the sink. And to accomplish that, I wanted to get all the miscellaneous fittings to be mounted rigidly to the cartridge filter, because the cartridge filter vibrates a little on its mount. And I didn't want any of this to have to flex. So to do that, I bought some 3-inch U channel material, aluminum, 1/8 inch thick, from Online Metals, and I had them cut it to size. So all I had to do is just bolt it to the top of the housing for the cartridge filter. And that way I had something very rigid that would hold all these fittings in place and not have them flex. To mount the water heater underneath the sink, it only fit if you put it at a 45-degree angle. And so I just made a simple piece of wood at a 45, and that gets bolted to the back of the shower wall, and that holds the water heater in place. I implemented a feature in my recirculating shower that would allow me to pump water from the shower pan directly into the flush tank. This is the toilet I'm using, and it has an integrated 4-gallon flush tank, and it's symmetrical. So on this side, there's a fill port for adding water, but on this side, there was a dummy plug, and into this dummy plug, I added a 3/4 inch hose fitting so that I could run tubing from the tank underneath the shower pan and then up to the plumbing fixtures underneath the sink. And so that's working out great. It's away from the outside wall, so it can't freeze, and it's using a channel underneath the shower pan that's otherwise unused primarily. Behind me is a panel of the shower wall. I made the shower walls out of 1/2 inch pre-finished Baltic birch plywood, and to waterproof them, I used a material that I got from Easy Faux Decor, and it's a peel and stick plastic that has a little bit of body to it, so it's really easy to work with and doesn't wrinkle. And I could just take my wall panels from the shower, put them on the table, lay this down, and then attach this. Easy to use. The whole shower I got to waterproof for less than 3 pounds, probably closer to 2 pounds, to waterproof the entire shower. And this material is primarily used to resurface countertops. And so it's pretty tough enough for a countertop, certainly tough enough for a shower wall. So I thought I'd pass that along as a pretty interesting material. Comes in different colors, and I found that it seems perfect for an ultralight van build. Before I bolt the back wall of the shower up against the van wall, I had to do some prep. The first thing was to finish insulating the back wall. I covered up all the exposed metal so that metal that's conductive to the outside of the van would be insulated. I insulated everywhere except where there was no air gap and no space to put in any additional insulation. I also mounted the fan. The shower has a fan that directly vents exhaust, humid air up to the outside, as shown in this photo. To ensure that I got a really good amount of air to come out of the shower and out of the van, I made myself a gasket on the back of the shower, or on the back of the fan enclosure, so that when the wall of the shower gets bolted against the wall of the van, it is pressed up against this gasket material. I'm using this polyethylene closed cell foam, has a little bit of compressibility, so that'll ensure that all the air that's exhausted out of the van by the fan will come out of the shower. I also replaced the fan that came with the housing with a different fan that was much quieter. I used a really quiet computer fan, which cut the noise quite a bit. And so I can run that fan in a campground and not disturb my neighbors with the fan running. I installed the fan with a layer of butyl tape around the outside edge of the fan to seal it and make it watertight. And that's where the fan is located, right up here. Also, before I installed the wall into the van, I completely assembled all the plumbing that goes underneath the sink. So it's the filters and the valves and the water heater. And I assembled all that plumbing while it was outside of the van, and did a pressure test to make sure there weren't any leaks in any of the plumbing connections. And that way, I can avoid going in and trying to do some repair on it after it's installed in the van, where I really don't want to have a lot of water leakage inside the van.
To get the electrical from one side of the van to the other, I ran it underneath the drawer unit, and I picked flat cables that would fit right underneath that lip of the drawer unit. And then I'm finishing it off with this plastic material, the same material that I used for the threshold of the shower. I'm sitting in the back of the van, and this is where the bed goes. And all the plumbing that is not inside the shower is located underneath the bed. This is the shower here, and the back wall of the shower is not vertical. I mounted it flush against the wall of the van. It contours the wall of the van so that I could get the shower pan 1.5 inches closer to the wall. And that makes the hallway 1.5 inches wider, which is a noticeable improvement over trying to put a vertical wall there. So here are all the plumbing details, or parts that are outside of the van enclosure, or the shower enclosure. I ended up making the slope here on the wheel well cover sloped and to pick up a little space so that the pump and all this plumbing could fit underneath the height of the bed. And so what we have here is this 3 water jugs, 5-gallon water jugs. This first one takes drain water directly from the sink into the gray water tank. Then I have a pair of 5-gallon water cans, and those are all secured with a belt system to keep them from moving around when we're driving. Inside of each of the 5-gallon cans, I have a little stinger that I made that fits inside there so that I can draw water from the bottom of the cans. And I can also generates a P-trap so that as long as there's some water in the tank, you can't get fumes back up into the shower enclosure. I have these little caps that I can put onto the 3/4 inch hose fittings. So when I'm carrying these back and forth to get water, or I'm carrying them to take them to dump the gray water, they don't slosh out and make a mess. So there's 2 water cans, fresh water cans, and because of the way this is plumbed through siphoning, they always maintain a relatively equal amount of water in each can. And then it comes out and goes through all the rest of the plumbing as I've described in this other video. This is the rubber tubing that comes from the shower pan, and I found that this is definitely not strong enough to take the pressure from my pump. So the pump goes through a 9-inch real heavy duty braided hose directly into the filter cartridge. And so all the plumbing here is very tight, really short. It's all inside the van where it can't freeze. And okay, here's the inside of the shower. I'm going to point out the different features. When I installed all the plumbing underneath the sink, I enclosed it with a piece of plastic that was also coated with the plastic material I used for the walls. and I made it kind of a cone shape to cover up all this plumbing. It's a pretty clean look, and it's held in with the same plastic that I use for the threshold and the electrical. And so this pops out really easily, and then that exposes all of the plumbing where I can get to everything and work on it if I need to. And so we've got the cartridge filter down here, all of the UV filters and switches and things up in here, the water heater right below the sink. This is the sink I chose. If I was doing it again, I might actually get a bigger sink, because sitting in here, I've got so much leg room and it's so roomy. A larger sink would have been better. A slightly narrower shower pan. I think I could probably take another 2 inches off the enclosure here and still have a really comfortable, roomy shower. This is a slide bar for the shower head. It also serves as a grab bar. It's really securely mounted to the wall of the shower, so that you can really lean on it to get in and out of the shower. All of the electrical switches are up here for turning on the lights and the fan and the pump, recirculate or fresh water, or pump into the flush tank of the toilet. I used one of these toilet paper covers, so the toilet paper stays dry while you're taking a shower. And up here, I'm not sure you can see it in the video, is where the fan is that exhausts all the humidity out of the van right out through there. This is a Nautilus sliding shower door. It's custom height so that it goes all the way to the ceiling and all the way to the floor without gaps. That was a pretty nice feature that I had them build for me. And
to finish sealing the shower, where the walls come together, I use this peel and stick Insta-Trim. It's a plastic product and it's really easy to use. It doesn't wear out, gives a really professional look, way better than I could do by trying to caulk it by hand. Where the wall comes down and meets the shower pan, I sealed that edge with white vinyl tape. Did a really good job. It looks great. It's not going to wear off, and sealed all the way around the shower pan. Where the sliding door frame, at the bottom of the sliding shower door, there's a track, and there's a gap between that track and the threshold to the shower. And so I sealed that with this DAP quick seal adhesive caulk. And that way, it's real clean. You don't even see it underneath that track. And that finished up sealing the shower. I've seen a lot of installations of cartridge toilets where they take the cartridge out through the side of the van, which makes it susceptible to freezing. So I chose to bring my cartridge out into the hallway where I can easily take it outside to have it dumped at a dump station. Underneath the toilet, there's an extra space that I took advantage of to store extra rolls of toilet paper and a drawer with all the cleaning supplies for the toilet and extra filter cartridges. So I hope this video has been informative, and thank you for watching.